A warm welcome to Eye on Africa. I'm Rochelle Ferguson-Biahi. These are the top stories on the continent. In March, two UN investigators were killed in DR Congo's volatile Kasai region. New information has come to light in an investigation by our sister station, RFI. We speak to the journalist behind it, Sonia Rolley. Plagued by delays and disputes, the five-day African National Congress conference draws to a close in South Africa today. And we visit a Christmas market in the Algerian capital, Algiers, which is celebrating diversity and peace among religious communities. But first, the worldwide movement for human rights today published the harrowing testimonies of refugees who fled DR Congo's volatile Kasai region. In July, the FIDH carried out a fact-finding mission in Angola to record witness accounts of violence which erupted last year when government forces killed a traditional chief. Well, for more, earlier I spoke to Chirina Geralon, Deputy Director of the FIDH's Africa Desk. Here's what she had to say.
In the course of our investigation, we were very struck by two main elements. The first one is indeed the scale and the gravity of the crimes that were perpetrated against civilians. We have interviewed a couple of people who have told us how they have been they have been facing people who have been executed summarily, that they have also seen members of their families being executed summarily by defense and security forces, by members of the Banamura militia. We have also gathered testimonies of people talking about cases of sexual violence that have been committed, cases of mutilations that have been committed as well. So really the crimes that we have documented are crimes that we considered has been serious, and the scale of those crimes is also a source of concern.
I mean, the report found that there was a deliberate strategy, if you will, of terror, which was implemented and instigated, if you will, by Congolese security forces.
That's the second element which leads us to consider that those crimes were serious, is the fact that they have been planned by the security forces and by the militias who committed the crimes. A couple of elements lead us to arrive to this conclusion. According to the refugees that we have interrogated, first, a couple of meetings were organized by the security forces, by the militias, by some local customary chiefs prior to the attacks, in particular with regard to the village of Sank, which is the village where we have documented most of the testimonies. Meetings that were organized to clearly plan the attack. The second element is the fact that most of the refugees that we have interrogated told us that they were very surprised about when they saw that their neighbors from different ethnic groups started to leave the villages prior to the attack, which is also somehow showing that these massacres were somehow premeditated.
Well, on March the 12th, UN investigators Zaida, Catalan and Michael Sharp were killed while investigating violence in DR Congo's Kasai region. Their bodies were found 2 weeks later in a shallow grave. One of them had been decapitated. Well, months on from their murder, new information has come to light in an investigation conducted by Sonia Rolley, a journalist from our sister station, RFI. She joins us now. Sonia, good evening to you. You know the Kasai region very well indeed. Talk us through the context of these murders, please.
So in March 2017, there was really the violence was spreading everywhere in the 5 provinces of the Kasai region. So it means that basically a territory, the dimension of the Norway was under like an important repression from the Congolese defense forces, because everywhere those militia were created by a local chief to protest against the killing of the chief Kamwina Tsapu, the chief that was killed in August 2017. And a lot of mass graves were uncovered by the UN at the time. And we started as well with Reuters to investigate those mass graves. And we were there at the same time at the experts to do a piece about those mass graves nearby the place where they were killed.
Now, what are the new elements that you can reveal from your inquiry today?
So it's not totally new element, because it was supposed to be the investigation file of the Congolese military justice that was gathered between March, so just after the murder, and until May, so just before the trial that was opening in Kananga in June. So they had a lot of information related to a network of state agents and people working closely with security forces that were organizing the mission of the experts. And that's something that the UN and the Congolese military justice never said, either during the hearing in Kananga or even during in the report of the UN Board of Inquiry, for example, that was appointed by Secretary General Antonio Guterres. So it's a bit strange to find that the Congolese military justice has so much information about state agents that were involved in preparing that mission, even in going with the two experts, because they allege a translator was also in 2012 a member of the intelligence service, so he's a former agent, but his cousin that was directly involved in organizing the mission was an informant of the INR, so the intelligence service of Congo. So there was a lot of connection like that, and it's unclear now. Not our investigation with Reuters is not saying if what happened with those evidences. The only clue that we have is the chief of the UN Board of Inquiry told us that he did not include all the evidences that he got in his report in order to see it for national investigation.
Okay, Sonia Rolley, you're a journalist with our sister station RFI. Thanks very much for your time this evening. To South Africa next, where the African National Congress conference wrapped up this Wednesday. Now, the five-day conference has been plagued by delays and disputes. It officially closed, though, with a speech from the ANC's new leader, Cyril Ramaphosa. France 24's Aisha Ismail reports now from Johannesburg.
Needs to try and unite a deeply divided ANC. He needs to say things to try and calm the markets. And of course, he also needs to say things to try and bring back people that have become disillusioned with the ANC, and especially those that have left the ruling party. But what we have heard is that the all-powerful NEC, the National Executive Committee, and I must say we're also still waiting to hear who these people will be to form part of the National Executive Committee, which is the highest decision-making body of the ANC. We've heard that they have already made a number of decisions, and they've agreed that they will make constitutional amendments to deal with the contentious land issue. And one of the things that they want to do is to expropriate land without compensation. However, there is a caveat. What they say is the expropriation of land will only be done if it does not impact on agricultural production and if it doesn't threaten food security. And only on that basis will they expropriate the land. But we've also heard that the NEC has made a decision. There are proposals to nationalize the Reserve Bank and also to put measures in place to spread the wealth in South Africa, because 23 years after democracy, South Africa still remains one of the most unequal societies in the world.
Next, in the Algerian capital, a small Christmas market is open to cater for a rising number of Christian migrants, as well as diplomats and locals. Pierre Delarue reports.
The Christmas spirit has come to Algiers, and although 99% of Algeria's population is Sunni Muslim, the country's second ever Christmas market is attracting locals of all religious backgrounds.
Everyone is entitled to their own religion. We come here and respect everyone's faith. Some people in my family are Christians. We all share different cultures and beliefs, and it's fine.
The local Catholic charity Caritas staged the Christmas market in an effort to bring communities closer together. A sign of continued security in the country, which has seen years of conflict between Muslim and Christian communities up until the end of the 1990s.
The aim is to bring people together in a nice and festive atmosphere. That is what Caritas represents, a place of solidarity and exchange. We live together, share different cultures and different religions.
The proceeds from the sale of honey, chocolate, treats, Christmas ornaments and trinkets are reinvested into the local community.
The money we are collecting today will help local women in need to teach them a skill that helps them get a job and make a decent living.
The Christian population in Algeria has grown significantly in recent years due to an influx of migrants from sub-Saharan countries such as Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso. Recent estimates put the number of Christians currently living in Algeria at around 100,000.
More international headlines to follow. Stay tuned to France 24.